Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm the blogger here at the Moxie Tempe for the RUCOM convention. I'm here with Q. Thank you for being on my show. I appreciate you, man.
Yep.
How's your day going so far?
So far, so good.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Looking good. You got a nice outfit on. Got the Gucci shoes on. I can't get on camera, but welcome. So I want to get the audience to understand, that you are an entrepreneur, self-made entrepreneur. May I add, a black entrepreneur at that. So can you let the audience know, like, your title and what you do for a living?
Yeah. First of all, I'm not self-made. Nobody's self-made.
Okay.
So I host events here in Arizona. I host an event that's a staple of culture in Arizona called Poetic. So it's a open mic experience for poets, rappers, singers, dancers, storytellers, comedians, everybody, one platform. We just celebrated our 6-year anniversary on 420. So we were established 420 2016. So my creative contribution, entrepreneurial contribution, and just overall contribution is bringing people together in Arizona to just be dope and do dope shit.
What did you think about when you first started this company? Like, did you feel like there was some culture in Phoenix to have open mics?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. So shout out to like all the trailblazers, I guess, so to speak, who created the space for cultivation of events and open mics and community gathering spaces and like everything over the years. Like prior to me getting here, I like to, consider myself like just a function of community in that regard. So I'm just kind of taking the mantle and, kind of taking the baton and just like furthering the race for the next group of individuals who are going to come and help run the race too. So I did think that there was culture here already. Culture is defined by behavior, you know what I mean? So culture surrounding the arts, a bunch. Ways that we could advance, what we were doing or what was already being done here, was kind of my motivation for jumping in also, using a skill set that I was given, that I acquired through business or other spaces of work and career, prior to getting here, and just using all of that stuff, kind of snowballing it all together to help to further the culture. Like that's what it's about. Yeah.
Did you go to school for this?
No.
Just
No.
learn, as you.
Yeah, I feel like every job that we take on, kind of prepares us, or every thing that we engage ourselves in, throughout the course of our journey in life prepares us for like whatever's next. So I didn't go to school specifically to learn about events and stuff like that. My degree's in computer science, which I don't use, but like it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing this for now?
Creative, like events?
Yeah, making it exactly, yeah.
I don't know, maybe 7 years or so here in Phoenix.
Did you see the vision initially, like how
Yeah.
it's expanded so far?
Yeah, as I've listened to like a bunch of people talk today, like, oh, I never saw myself doing this. I never saw myself doing that. Everybody's different, I guess, in that sense. Where I was shown a vision for like the things that I would be doing in life like a long time ago. It's either an acceptance of it or it's a rejection of it, which I feel like is, kind of the same thing for everybody. I have a common notion that I give to children when I speak to like the youth, that if you can't see it, you can't be it. You know what I mean? So this idea that I didn't see myself doing this and that, it's really strange to me. Like you kind of have to see it before you can actually do it.
Because yours was like literally like you meant it. Like,
Right,
really
exactly. So I'm intentional about, the moves that I make and the things that I do because I've seen it. So it gives me a different kind of a motivation to do the thing. You know what I mean? Like there's no giving up on it, no quitting on it because I've already seen it. So it's got to happen. So I just have to do my part, But yeah. So I see myself doing all the things and more that I've been, able and blessed and fortunate enough to do like here in community. So, yeah.
Do you feel like there's any setbacks with the way these events are going? Because there could be like, so say for example you book a show and a few artists decide to pull out of the show. Do you just keep going? Like you find other people? Like
that's a really good question. Like, and it's actually kind of loaded, right? So in the beginning, as an event producer, or what have you, I'll be kind of nervous. Like, man, what happens if nobody shows up and I'm doing this like open mic event and like nobody shows up? And then I was like, that fear was kind of quelled a bit because it's like, well, if they don't show up, then you'll perform because you're an artist. You know what I mean?
You just perform.
You'll just perform. You'll just fill in the gaps. You know what I mean? It's like, oh man, okay, cool. Well, that's easy. But fortunately, you know what I mean, since I've been doing events, artists have shown up. And so kind of the journey of like how I met Dom and so many of the others who've come through over the years in support of the events and the event spaces. You know, much in the same way that I, you know, kind of ventured out into spaces to meet them, like those who I was genuinely able to connect with in space. It's like, man, you're dope as an artist. I'm like, man, you're dope too. So when I kind of went from just attending other people's events to putting on my own events, people were like, oh man, I rock with him, he's dope. So, you know what I mean? The artist showed up, which was a blessing, yeah, for sure.
When I gave you that title at the very beginning of the interview, saying self-made, and you kind of, you know, debunked that notion. Can you name the people in your circle who's helped you grow?
So many, you know what I mean? I mean, obviously we're here at RootCon, so, you know, Dom Root is definitely one of those individuals that I looked at in the beginning. You know, coming out here in Arizona, being like, oh, cool, this is a person, you know, clearly, who has, you know, taken the onus of helping to cultivate and create like spaces and community, you know, for the community. And, you know, HB is one who's here also, Harold Branch with Home Base, just like so many other individuals. So again, nobody's self-made. I just don't believe in that, you know what I mean? Like even for us to celebrate 6 years of community with Poetic Soul and 6 years of consistency, like just functioning week after week after week. COVID notwithstanding, of course, you know, we took 6 months off, but that as an endeavor is much bigger than me as an individual. Although I'm not naive to my role with the experience, you know what I mean? It's still like, when people are like, congratulations, bro, I'm like, what'd I do? And they're like this, and I'm like, bro, this is so much bigger than me, you know what I mean? Even though I understand that I'm doing my part, you know, but without all of the moving parts, all the people that have come through, all the folks who've reposted flyers, all the individuals who, like Dom and some of the others who were hosting events here, whose brains I was able to, you know, kind of pick, or whose spaces I was fortunate enough to come into and just kind of observe their operations and see things that I liked and things that I maybe, you know, did not want to incorporate into my experiences. Like all those things help, you know what I mean? So it's not no self-made anything, you know what I mean, over here. I don't really take this notion that like celebrity kills community, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
so I don't necessarily like this idea of like being hoisted on people's shoulders and carried around, even though I was an athlete growing up, you know what I mean? So that's what that space was all about. It was the camaraderie, yeah, but then, man, the big shot is hit, and you helped us, you know what I mean, get over the top. It's like, man, let's carry, for he's a jolly good fellow, like carry this guy over our show.
Yeah.
And in the space that I'm in my life now, I'm just like, that's not important to me. I like getting together with dope people doing dope stuff. So it's not just one individual, it's all of us, you know what I mean? But I understand this notion and idea of being like, man, that's the man, or that's the woman, that's the person who's like responsible for all of this stuff. And it's like, cool. The kind of a theme that I heard, you know, circulated today was like, we're just recently in that panel, it was like, we're just ordinary people, you know, from the doctor, you know, she's like, we're ordinary people, but unless you attach that extra to the ordinary, you know what I mean? Like she doesn't want to be a part of it, and it's true, you know? It's like we're all ordinary. I'm just an ordinary person, so when people, you know, kind of do that thing to me, it's kind of weird and off, you know, kind of like, ugh.
Yeah.
So I will stop people from like the overt praise and stuff like that when they're introducing me to people. I'm like, no, bro, how are you? I'll just extend my hand and like just cut them off from all that. Oh my God, he walks on water, glows in the dark. He's the blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, stop, you know? I'm just a regular person, and I don't want people esteeming me that way, where then they feel like it's intimidating to come and talk to me or to reach out to me for a resource or to bounce ideas off of, or like whatever it is, or just, you know what I mean, even to seek, you know, guidance or what have you. I don't want people looking at me like, oh, well, that's the celebrity dude. Like, don't. He's, you know what I mean, like untouchable or what have you. Like, bro, I'm regular.
Like just putting somebody on a pedestal, but
I don't like it, bro.
Yeah.
I don't like it. And so to that notion of like celebrity killing community, I feel like, you know, we call people who are celebrities or who have this appeal that we esteem just so much higher than other people. We call them stars, bro. And a star is so far out there. I like really, really far out there, bro. And you know, so to me, I never want, you know, people to be like, oh my God, he's like way out there. But unfortunately, in the society, when we do that to people, we have this idea that we just like help to elevate them to this space of stardom. You know, so even though we're esteeming them a star, we're just like, yo, we helped you get there. And then more often than not, it's almost like this this rope tied around their ankle. So the instant they do something that we don't like, we snatch them down out of the sky. And you're like, you're no longer a star. You're no longer worthy of that esteem. So we're like, Kanye, you're an idiot. And when we snatch Kanye or the celebrity out of the sky, then we lord over them, as opposed to helping to build them up. I know it's ridiculous, right? It's terrible, bro. Then we're like, well, we were like, and it's all bad. Both, you know what I mean? So I feel like both. So the balance is that we're here, you know? We're on the same level, bro. I'm just doing some things that you could do too if you just, you know, take the active steps toward like doing those things. And we all have a purpose and a responsibility to do everything with everything that we have in us to make the world around us better. That's like really what it's all about.
So like for me right now, I'm noticing that your demeanor is you're calm, you're chill. To say humble is an understatement. Like you've done, from what I'm hearing, and you know, from what you told me off camera already, like you've done a lot for the community and this this company that you have put together, bringing people together for you know for your event every so often. Every Wednesday. Every Wednesday, yeah. It's just like it's a big deal, but you kind of downplay it in a good way. Like
right.
You're just helping out people who need, you know, their voices to be heard.
Right.
So I feel like for me as a vlogger, you know, I'm basically doing the same thing, just, you know, on a different platform. Like I do like an online show where I get people to speak out and let their voices be heard. This is like, I'm saying this on camera, but this is like legit one of the, for me, like one of the most respectful interviews I can say that I've done.
Wow.
Because like off camera, I'm like, damn, this is gonna be hard to interview this guy. He's like quiet, but I can probably get something out of him. But it might be like a 5-minute interview, but you can say a lot within, you know, a few minutes.
It's because I'm not. It's because I'm really proud of like the work that I've. You know what I mean? Like the work. You can't get to anything, any space of fulfillment. You know, through the action without the action, right? So I'm very, very proud of the work. You know what I mean? And like happy that I'm able to just kind of focus and do the thing that I'm responsible, charged with the responsibility to do. So humble in that sense, like I won't shy away from talking about the thing that I do because I'm very proud of it. But at the same time, I understand the work. So I have to put in the work. So my encouragement, you know, in that sense then goes kind of in the direction of saying, hey, you can put in some work too in some area to do a thing, you know? But what I've done is, again, still so much bigger than me, even though again, I'm not naive to my role. I understand the dedication, the focus, the commitment, like all the stuff that has been required of me to sacrifice in a lot of areas of my life to just say, I'm gonna do this, I'm not gonna do that. I don't care what the outcome is right now in terms of monetary, I'm just gonna do this, you know what I mean? Because I'm supposed to do that. So all of that stuff, I mean, we could sit and talk for hours about, it's like, man, let me tell you some stories about how, you know, I came from homelessness into like spaces of being able to take care of myself because of my business now, you know what I mean, and things like that. But again, the bigger thing for me is I'm grateful, bro, to still be used to do a functional thing in community and to be a functional member of community here. That's like bigger than anything else, you know what I mean? That's bigger than anything else.
I appreciate that too. Yeah. I think people who are gonna watch this can learn from it, you know, can learn to, like what we talked about earlier, the celebrity thing, put people on the pedestal, because I talked to my friends about it. You know, I've always been trying to interview celebrities, but then I realized I can interview local artists too, and I can get the same amount of views and clout that, you know, I would get if I interviewed a celebrity. Like, being in a space like this is a privilege for me, you know what I mean? Like, I'm meeting you, I'm meeting all these people, that's an honor, you know? Like, I definitely appreciate you guys, because there's voices to be heard, like I said earlier, but more so their stories. I don't know nobody's story. Right,
and that's what makes our favorite celebrities our favorites. You know, ultimately, it's not just the art, it's not just what they do. It's like once we have the opportunity to experience them as a human being, it's like, man, this is like a real person. Like, true story, I was at a birthday party for Tiana Taylor in LA like some years back, and it's at this huge soundstage, Backlot Universal, and you know, all these celebrities are there. No security separating anybody from anybody, so everybody's just, I mean, if you're invited there, you belong there, right? And there was this moment between Kanye and Kim, like, you know, where Kanye just comes kind of like running across the room to where Kim was, and he's like, babe, 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 and they're having like he's through his excitement expressing whatever it was that he was expressing. And I just remember looking at him thinking like, man, this is like a real person. You know what I mean? Because we're so conditioned to see these people as like larger than life. But I'm like, this dude's just a regular person, you know?
Exactly.
Like, and it that kind of changed for me, like the way that I looked at celebrities even, you know what I mean? Like that is kind of what helped to shape that idea for me that like celebrity kills community. You know what I mean? Because there we were on this soundstage, just all being community. Nobody was like, bro, what are you doing? Like, why are you here? You know what I mean? Like the notion is that if you're invited here, you belong here, like much like everybody else felt like they belonged in that space, regardless of their story or the work that they had put in. Like we had all done some things that got us to that point, you know, so.
I like that. So
yeah.
2 quick questions. This is first for your personal life and then second for your future / business endeavors. So for your personal life, is your family supporting and or do you have your family part of this business with you? Yeah,
so it's not a family business yet. No, it's not even like that. It's not even like a forced thing, you know, for family. I got the support of my fiance and all my friends, etc., who kind of cheer me on and jump in to help like wherever they can. But for the most part, I run, you know, a business that is Qosmic Qadence LLC, Poetic Soul Event LLC, and again, it's not necessarily, you know, support comes in like many forms also, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So it's not like the physical, like hands-on, even though I'm certain I can call on, you know, a lot of them to do things for me if I needed them, you know what I mean? But yeah, definitely their emotional support, moral support, like, yeah, that for sure.
And then I also gonna ask you, what do you like to do like outside of this, of your business?
Relax, recharge, spend time at the beach, or just doing things I like to do, like whatever it is, whether it's just kind of laying back, you know, chilling, or I don't know, man, a bunch of different things I kind of do just to kind of mellow out. You know, just read a book or just sit in silence. You know what I mean? Like, I like to reflect a lot. I'm an Aquarius, so I'm in the stars a lot. But I like to kind of just reflect on, you know, what just happened. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, our 6-year anniversary was just a couple of days ago. So for the last few days, I've been spending more time just kind of thinking back to the moment and kind of feeling the energy of being there, the interaction with the people, and how much fun they were having. You know what I mean? Things that people said to me in that space, you know, through gratitude, etc. It's like, that stuff's like huge, you know what I mean? So it helps me recharge too, it helps to keep me going, helps to keep me focused. Much like HB said earlier, it helps me also to kind of project beyond the moment and say, okay, cool, let's do more of that to create more of that feeling for people, you know? You know? So yeah.
Congratulations on that too.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And then my last question, final question, you know, do you have like other endeavors, like businesses that you want to get off the ground?
Yeah, so just the 3 companies that I'm focused on right now. Like I said, Qosmic Qadence LLC is a company that actually produces Poetic Soul. I created a spinoff company, obviously, Poetic Soul Event LLC, some years later. And then I have a clothing line also called Ufalme LLC, UHFALME. So that's those, as far as business focus, like that's kind of it. Other things that I want to do to help to grow the platform and help to grow community are, you know, those are kind of those coming soons, you know. So,
I like that,
yeah, but a lot of focus just on those.
Yeah, I was confused because your tag says Qosmic and then your name was Q. So
Yeah, so Q, Qosmic, kind of interchangeably. But yeah, so I as a poet years ago, I began as just calling myself Qosmic Qadence as a poet.
Okay.
So yeah, so the Q obviously play on the Q. Yeah, it's the Q instead of a C. So yeah.
That's dope, man. Qosmic Q Qosmic, thank you for your time.
I appreciate you all.
Poetic Soul event.
Yep, Poetic Soul event every Wednesday night downtown Phoenix at a spot called Club Downtown, 6 p.m. till about 11:30 roughly.
Perfect, man. I appreciate you. Can you go out to social media real quick?
Yep. At Poetic Soul Event on Instagram, at Poetic Soul Event, and at Qosmic with a Q, obviously, QOSMIC _QADENCE, Qosmic Qadence on Instagram. Other company at Ufalme, UHFALME. That's it. That'd be me.
Man, thank thank you for your time. I appreciate you. We here at GroupCon 2022. Cue everybody, check them out and support them. We out.
Appreciate you, brother.
Peace.